Hey Leos, how you doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your first half of November general reading. So in the meditation I just did for you guys, it was very cool. I saw you, like the Leo collective personified as a person with a lion's head, right? And I saw you going through these like amazing obstacle courses, like ninja style, and they were all aflame and on fire, and you're just killing these obstacle courses. And I heard, I don't know what song it is, but it's like da 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 da. Like it was very epic, very like oh. You go through all these obstacles like a G, just acing them, right? Not getting tripped up. And then I saw you standing on top of a hill at the end of it, just like yas. So it feels like you're in a very active. What's the word? Virile? Is that the word? Potent energy right now, very active, very in and of your element, which is just gorgeous. It feels really good. It feels really powerful. Wow, amazing. Ooh, on the bottom here we have Cobra, which is really funny because this is associated, this is the symbol for fire. Cobras are associated energetically with fire. This was very much how it was just like yes on it and yeah, like this is I love that he's at the bottom there for you. So you got the crocodile, crocodile. This is really funny because this is water, right? Which is like the antithesis to fire. So it's just funny that this is coming up around all the fire I just saw. Especially because what I saw was a lot of speed, like getting through this obstacle course like it was on a timer, right? And doing so successfully. The crocodile is about knowing when to move and when to be still. Interesting. The crocodile has this natural camouflage about it, right? Where it will sit and wait until the exact right piece of prey that it can actually, get to and eat. Not to get too dark on you, but it waits for that exact right opportunity. We'll talk about it like that. The exact right opportunity for it to come along, and then it's bam, snap. And that opportunity or prey or whatever have you never sees it coming. It doesn't announce itself to every opportunity, which is another way of saying it doesn't accept every cup that it's offered, right? Keeps its own dance card as full as it wants to, and that's about it, right? It's like, no, I'm gonna know when to move and when to be still. Also, because I'm drawn to the eye here, also inherently within this energy, it's related to the dragon energy too, which is about seeing oneself clearly and thus others clearly. Because to see others clearly, we must first see ourselves clearly. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times, there's that word projection that's coming into mind where people say, you're projecting your own issues onto me. Well, another way of looking at that is, well, if you really knew yourself well, you would understand what is projection and what is not projection. And then you could be like, actually, boo, it's not projection, but thank you for that dollar word. But I actually know what that means. You know what I mean? But this is interesting about knowing when to be still and when to move. Ready, set. Okay. What's going on for my Leos? They're drawing attention to the fact that they're showing me a bonfire. And if you've ever had a bonfire or made a fire or been to a fire, you know that you have to, continuously stoke it so that it doesn't go out, right? Water is water, right? This is a very fire and water thing I'm getting here. Water is water. And I feel like you're being advised to kind of step into this water, element. Water also, it's like I said, it is what it is. It goes where it wants to go. It can't be, necessarily controlled in the way that I'm seeing it. Like a fire needs to be continually stoked. Like, oh, don't let the fire go out. That's even a saying. Don't let the fire go out in the relationship or whatever that is. But water it just feels ancient, effortless. It cannot and will be moved outside of its own timing and volition is what I'm getting. Let's see what's going on for you guys, Leos. I just heard too much of a good thing. We'll see. Suke. So we have the Queen of Wands here, repping your fire sign selves here. Is this going to be the fire and water reading? Um, so Queen of Wands, I just said too much of a good thing, and then we have Queen of Wands here, which is very much about all of the things, right? Look at that like heavy load on this poor baby's back right here, right? This can indicate a few different things, but what's coming to mind for me is moving. This can be about actually moving, like, moving homes, locations, cities, whatever that is. But this is also just about movement that requires a maximum amount of effort because there are two irons in the fire, right? It's the mostest. It's not pleasant. It's like, oh God, it's like lay your burdens down. It's like Atlas, right? Atlas, who held the world on his, shoulders, right? Atlas, lay those burdens down, right? There's a song by the Wood Brothers called Atlas that they're playing to me if you want to look it up. Yeah, a lot of effort here. Too much of a good thing. Holding on to too much, it's like, why am I hearing things we lost in the fire? What is going on? It's funny because if you just, I am getting this image of like, trying to have so much that you end. It's okay. It's like that scene in it's one of the Hobbit movies where there's like that fire and the dragon is destroying the town, and that one guy tries to get all the gold and then he ends up sinking and dying because he tried to take too much with him. There's something about laying these things down. And when I saw the Leo personified in the obstacle course, wasn't carrying a darn thing. Because you can't move through that swiftly and well and successfully with baggage. This can also be obligations here, right? So fascinating here. We have the Worlds here, which is the successful completion of a cycle. It's closing one thing out to begin a new one. This is really fascinating how this is, okay, Leos. I'm getting a pretty strong feeling that alignment is called for at this time. She was just calling to me, said pick up the one on top, which is the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is really good advice. I feel like she wants to go here. Okay. So the successful completion of, I'm really getting this feeling of it's time to really get I have this feeling of like, let's get serious about really releasing and looking at things from a lens of like the Queen of Swords, dispassionately so, right? Like this reps air signs, right? So the Queen of Swords is very much about, okay, you can stay, you can go. I'm going to keep this, I'm going to donate this. And there's not a whole lot of emotion involved in it. And therefore, she is uber efficient. She doesn't weeble wobble. It's not about, oh, heart, maybe I should keep this, or maybe I should continue this relationship, or maybe I should keep answering that phone call, even though I'm super drained after I talk to that person. No, she's like, nope, SOS, but to her, it's like, say own shit. You know what I mean? Like that's very much Queen of Swords energy. I feel like you are being asked right now to make some significant changes to prepare for what is coming. It feels like there's a lot of excess going on here, or just it's like too much or not enough of something, but it does feel like there's just a lot of cooks in the fire. There's a lot of cooks in the fire. Oh my God. That was like Freudian for you or something. A lot of cooks in the kitchen, a lot of irons in the fire. It just feels like, it feels like the kitchen is really hot and you're being asked to just kind of like throw some water on it, right? With the crocodile. You think about it too, this whole feeling of like a lot going on in the crocodile, knowing when to move and knowing when to be still. It feels like there are unneeded, counterproductive energies around you. This can be about you. This can be, negative self talk and thoughts that are weighing you down. This could be people around you draining you of your energy. This could be you doing a little too much work and not enough play. It could be too much play and not enough work. We're talking about balance here. You're being asked to come into this place of balance. Because even me, I'm like, ooh, slow down and breathe. Like my heart's going. I just feel like, oh, you know what I mean? And again, this world successful completion of a cycle, you're being asked to kind of tie up these loose ends and really release any extraneous anything, baggage of whatever form, so that you can go ahead and move on to your next cycle. Because then you've got also the devil here in your third placement, Capricorn energy, which is really all about feeling bound and trapped, by forces or that you have no control over. This is that illusion that I am powerless. This is that illusion that, I don't have free will. I don't have a say in destiny, when we absolutely do. Right? Fate is different, but we do have a say. I won't get all Greek on you. Go just ask Oedipus about how much control we have over fate. But destiny is another matter. We can very much take destiny into our own hands. I'm drawn to the fact, the devil, yes, it is the number one key. Remember when I said too much of a good thing? The devil's also about excess of material body things, like drinking, overindulgence with, food or smoking, anything like that. This is extremity of any kind as well, where it's like you can even work out too much, you can sleep too much, right? It's anything that is outside of the realm of balance and alignment. You're being asked to kind of step into a place of alignment because there's just too much of a good thing going on right now, right? And I want to take that back and just go, by good thing, I don't know if I mean that literally. That's the saying. But it's definitely too much of something that's keeping you outside of the realm of balance here and equilibrium, okay? And the crocodile, again, it's about, I feel like you're okay. The crocodile says to know when to move and when to be still, right? And your advice here with the crocodile is slow it way, way down. See yourself clearly, like the dragon says, right? So that you have a better picture of what you need moving forward. I feel like we're all being prepped, but especially you guys right now within the, this reading, I feel like you're very much being prepped for 20, right? Now is the time to get a really clear assessment on where you are and where you want to go, and anything that, are you imbalanced in any way, right? Because balance is alignment, right? And alignment is balance. That's where we manifest from, right? That's where we release any resistance inherent within or around us, right? Because that can be an internal state. Slow way down, Leos. I'm even having, these cards don't even want to shuffle. I'm just hearing slow way, way, way down, okay? What does that show, The Next Great Ninja Warrior or something? That is what the meditation felt like. And it's like, yo, slow way down. Let's get a clear fire field world. Okay, are you serious? The Fool. Get a major arcana to clarify a major arcana. You know how I feel when that happens. I just love it. I don't know if you could get a more perfect pair right here, Leo. Spirit is very much here for this. Successful completion of a cycle. Didn't I say that you're being prepped for me? The Fool is ground zero. The Fool is a fresh new beginning. It's the leap of faith. It's the brand new chapter. I want to point something out. Do you see that all the Fool has with him is this little baby bag on this little stick here? Somebody get that kid a suitcase. No, but really, that's all he has to take with him. That's the amount of faith. It's like, I trust that I'm going to find food when I need it. I trust I'm going to rely on the kindness of strangers. I'm going to trust that I find shelter when I need it, right? Do you see that the opposite of this Ten of Wands is the Fool? You see how much he's carrying it on his back, and then look at the Fool? You're being asked to seriously lighten your load, okay? Seriously lighten your load. It's going to be different for different folks, but let's get a clarifier for this double here. I keep hearing it. The song is called Atlas by the Wood Brothers. Please look that up. I feel like that is the theme for this reading. Okay, they want me to say the lyrics. Aphrodite, my something suitcase was her burden for too long. She said, boy, you've got some troubles. You never lose. Lay your burdens down. We'll both be stronger. Don't you try to hold the world up. Something like that. I think I just butchered that, but I tried. Ooh, interesting. So to clarify the devil, we have the Two of Wands, which this is gorgeous energy. This is about, you're about to take a vacation that you are super excited about, a whole new venture, a whole new world. And this is you packing your suitcase to go. Right? The number 2, this can also talk about new relationships being formed on the road ahead as well. And you can take it in terms of like this new trip that you're going on, people you meet at the airport or sitting next to on the plane or when you get there. It's not just romantic relationships, but it can be. But this is really about, forming new bonds with people and thus, creating a greater whole in terms of your friend bank, your resources, the people that you know, because every new person that you meet is going to broaden your perspective on how you see the world, right? They offer up new perspectives and new ways of being. And especially with this world and this Fool card here, it feels like you're being prepped for a whole new chapter, but it's going to require you to change some stuff up, step outside of your comfort zone is what I'm getting. About stepping out, that's like the theme of the readings for this round. It's really about stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? And can you find comfort within the discomfort, or would you rather just stay with what you know and what you feel comfortable with and thus stay stagnant? It's a difference between a lake that is still and a river that moves. A lake that is still is gorgeous, it's still a lake, but it's super stinky. I don't know if you guys have ever, where I grew up, it was like lakes and rivers everywhere, and it was like, well, the bayou more specifically, but when it's still like that, it gets really stinky because it's not moving, right? There's no filtration, there's no movement, right? You're being asked to really be the river, right? And there's definitely a river in this picture. It's key. I really feel like you're being prepped for me. It's kind of like last call. We also have 8 of Swords here, right? Pisces got some similar cards in their reading, actually. So 8 of Swords is that analysis paralysis. It's that mental prison to which only we hold the key. It's like, hey, Dorothy, all you got to do is click your heels 3 times, right? This is a ruse. This is an illusion, right? This is like feeling trapped and bound. And like, this is the illusion that we don't have free will choices and options and that redemption is only a breath away. Very similar to the devil energy. In order to transmute these energies and get you out on your next chapter and your road, right? Because your 2 fire energies that are being repped here are the 10 of Wands and the 2 of Wands, right? Although I feel like it should be like that. Really discern, right? Through a lens of divine selfishness if you need to, which is different from egoic selfishness. What is serving you, what you want to take into the next chapter, what you want to take into the next year, and then lovingly release what does not fit that bill. Wands to 2 Wands. You're being asked to make some major edits here. You just are. This can be edits within yourself, right? This can be this can be really looking at, negative self-thoughts or limited, I feel like it is limited belief systems, okay? This ruse that you don't have control over your destiny, which you absolutely do. And again, I don't want to say the word control. It's the belief that you don't have facility over your destiny or that you don't have the ability to be a co-creator. And you are being asked to be a co-creator. And this is your middle energy. It's the ending of one cycle and the emergence of a new one. You can't take everything from the past with you. You can't take everything that's been into this new chapter. So be discerning about what that is. And in order to do so, right, let go of anything that is a self-imposed limitation. You're being asked to go beyond your perceived limitations. But you've got to slow down to do this. You've got to become the Queen of Swords to do this. But it's important, okay? So I feel like there's a huge opportunity, again, with this fresh new chapter on the other side of this. I also want to point out, you have 3 major arcanas here, and they're big ones too. The Fool, the beginning and the end, right? The Fool, the World, and the Devil, who's right in the middle, right? Major arcanas denote destined events, right? Which just means that it is a little intense, but this is also, you're exactly where you're meant to be at this time. And you can move through it with the kind of grace and releasing any resistance you have to change or things going a little bit differently than you would have planned or scheduled. We are moving into Mercury in retrograde here. And sometimes Mercury in retrograde, also depending on when it falls and your chart and everything, it can affect some people really dramatically. And then others, it's like, oh, that wasn't a bad one. What, was Mercury in retrograde? Really? Right? I feel like for you guys, I feel like this can be intense for you. I feel like your medicine to transmute this energy and get through this Mercury in retrograde fluidly and embracing the lesson of it is I'm so serious about this, crocodile. There's something so much about slowing down and patience. Mercury retrograde is all about, oh, you have plans? Here's what I think of your plans. Bam. But if you are patient, right? If you don't, become frustrated or upset when timing of things changes, or this can happen a lot of different ways. but expect the unexpected, but in a way that is like, okay, I understand that anything that comes up for me during this time, it is and I hate to say it, but it kind of is, it's a test of my faith, my patience, and my ability to find comfort within discomfort. Okay? If you can find comfort within discomfort, Mercury retrograde ain't got nothing on you. Let's get an oracle. Okay, really, Leo? Desert, vision quest. I can't with this. It's too good. Desert, vision. This is exactly, okay. See how this dry, barren land, first of all, the vision quest, this is basically Queen of Swords here, right? But this is a more spiritual take on that. First of all, a vision quest is something you do on your own, right? It's really about living outside of the constraints of time or the have to or the must-dos, going inside and really, again, back to this dragon energy of seeing yourself clearly so that you can see your given circumstances clearly and the people around you clearly. It's a time to slow down. If you go running through this desert and try to speed up this process, you're going to sweat to death. See where I'm going with this? It's really a time to slow down the heat aspect of this, because I saw so much fire in the meditation. And hello, the devil, definitely fiery energy here, right? The best way, especially to those of you who live in warmer climates, you're going to hear me when I say I'm definitely from a warmer climate originally. The best way to kind of combat the heat is you got to go slow. You have to. When it's really hot like this in the desert, you can't be moving fast like that. Like you're going to get dehydrated no matter how much water. Like you got to go slow, right? And that's what you're being advised to do right now. Go slow, trust in divine timing. Try to hold, what's coming up for you in a loose hand, right? Instead of a tight grip, right? But you got this, Leos. This is what happens before transformation in a new chapter. And again, with this Fool, you're exactly where you're meant to be. It's just about getting through this time in a medicinal and constructive way. And again, the best way to do that is to roll with the punches and find comfort within the discomfort and release any expectations, because expectations, of course, are limitations. All right, my beautiful Leos, I so hope that this helped and resonated with you. If so, please let me know in the comments below. And just thank you so much for being here. And as always, just thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.